the time. So I have to play this. This it's about a 16-second clip. I want to play this 16-second clip so that when I do play clips, that this right here will precede any of that, so that we don't have any copyright infringement issues or anything that YouTube can use to stop the channel or to stop everything. But let me say this, brothers and sisters, and everyone who's listening, go sign up to the Patreon. That's patreon.com/ all one word, The Red Pill Diaries. Go there, $3 a month. You get breaking news. We've put out multiple articles this week about the situation that's going on in Iran and in the Middle East, the situation that's going on between America and China, the situation that's going on between America, NATO, Europe, and Russia. And we going into so many aspects of it because we're getting it right from the sources that are close to it. And we also want to send a rest in peace to Professor Dennis Etler. I want to say that. I should have said that at the beginning, but we were having technical difficulties. So rest in peace to Professor Dennis Etler, who was a frequent person on this show. And so his presence will be missed because he gave me a lot of information behind the scene about the situation with China and America. But let me play this clip. We're going to come back on the other side of this clip. We're going to talk. I'm going to ask Brother Rashid a few things, and then I got to play something that goes in line with what he has been saying about America and how she deals with other nations, okay? So don't be mad. Just be patient. Now we're back. So with that disclaimer, we should be able to play a few things, but I'm going to play that disclaimer several times because I know how YouTube goes against my channel and how my stuff is suppressed and my subs get unsubbed and all of this stuff. So I already know about that. So I have to take every precaution, okay? So don't think harsh of me when you see me playing this over again. But we were just talking about how the bully acts, especially when the bully feels threatened or his grip or her grip on power or influence is threatened. I'm going to play something for you, and then it's a short clip. And on the other side of that, I want your response and your reaction to this, okay? So here we go.
Now, America has been named the world's biggest threat to democracy, despite being touted as its supposed beacon. A poll conducted by the Alliance of Democracies Foundation placed it above China and Russia. The organisation was founded by Anders Fogh Rasmussen, the former NATO Secretary-General. Well, more than 50,000 people from 53 countries took part in the survey, 44% of whom agreed Washington's influence was a threat. China came second and Russia was third on the list. All the same, though, the US Secretary of State, along with his British counterpart on Monday, singled out Beijing and Moscow as malign influences.
We're responding to a situation where our values are being challenged. The international architecture is, at least in some respects, being weakened.
Together, our two countries recently took measures to prevent British and American businesses from inadvertently supporting forced labor in Xinjiang and elsewhere in China. We'll continue our robust cooperation to address the atrocities in Xinjiang, a crackdown on pro-democracy activists and politicians in Hong Kong, which breaches China's international commitments, and the repression of media freedom across China and in other parts of the world. I also want to thank the United Kingdom for joining us in holding Russia to account for its reckless and aggressive actions.
Historian and author Gerald Horne says, though, that public support for Washington's power plays is on the wane, including in Europe.
People across the globe are not naive, and they come to the simple conclusion that the United States is the bully on the block. Obviously, they're seeking to launch a new Cold War, not only against China, but against China and Russia combined. It's part of the psychological makeup of those who rule the United States to be the leading country on planet Earth, and they see that now eluding their grasp, and so they want to take down China by any means necessary. And there's also opposition to Russia because Russia will not go along with this new Cold War against China. I think that poll result suggests that it will be difficult to launch that new Cold War because international public opinion is not only hostile to the idea, but I think in Europe in particular, there is a gnawing and growing realization that the United States would like to fight China and Russia to the last European, and I don't think the Europeans are sufficiently naive to go for that bad bargain.
So we're back on that side. Now, there's some significant things that were said in this video, in this report. And they talked about how America and Britain says that that the international order has been weakened, right? And I want you to understand what that means. I've talked to several knowledgeable, I should say, and well-endowed mentally scholars, professors, and scientists behind the scenes. And I've also had numerous conversations with Professor Kevin Barrett, and he agrees with my take on what they're talking about when they say the international order. As a matter of fact, Professor Dennis Etler, may he rest in peace, he agreed, and others that I've had and that will be coming on the show agreed with my assessment of this. The international order that they're talking about is a Western or a white-dominated order. This is the truth. This has everything to do with Europe and America dominating politics, economics, trade, everything. And when someone rises up to challenge that, the number one power, the pillar of Western hegemony or white power globally, listen to me good, globally, is America. So she jumps up, and now Britain is one of the main beneficiaries, because remember that America still hasn't fully shaken off all of the shackles of when America was a British colony, right? So in this, he said, weaken some institutions or weaken, and they use these key words like values and democracy. Now, mind you, in the same clip, it was about how the world sees America and the rest of the nations. And they saw America as the greatest threat to democracy. Isn't that something? I'm saying, I mean, I cannot make this stuff up. This is crazy. The thinking of the British Empire and the American Empire on how they always talk about the international community, where, and in fact, they only talk about Europe and America and Australia. They do not talk about that 70 to 80% of the population of the planet that they exclude from the international community, which is crazy. Before I